and gentlemen, this is a shot that will be heard around the fucking world. Kendrick, you are on the clock. The boy came back. You're on the clock, nigga. Fight back, Kendrick! Fight back!
It was at this moment that he knew. He f***ed up.
On the 4th of May of 2024, we would hear the most diabolical diss record of all time, as Kdot will make good on his promise from the song 616 in LA and actually pick Drake's carcass apart. Fellow content creator Anthony Fantano will give him a proper eulogy for his career.
Today we're here to remember a man. Some may not say a great man. Big fan of cookies. Big fan of cookies, but he was a man nonetheless. Yes, vegan cookies, in fact. And he had a very long and storied and celebrated career. His meat was glazed, absolutely glazed, by many an OV-ho, all of whom will be completely shattered. If you know any OV-hos in your life, send them your condolences. Buy them a Nintendo store gift card. But today we're here to give a bit of a musical eulogy to one of the greats, what one would say a member of the Big Three, or what at one time was known as the Big Three, Aubrey Graham Drake, aka BBL Drizzy, recently diagnosed with a terminal case of back-to-back-to-back. And right now, Drizzy is currently flatlining. Everybody's wondering what the hell is going on.
Bro, Kendrick knocked ages off this man's life. He looks stressed is a understatement. He aged 6 years is hilarious. It's giving Little Diddy vibes. In my Meet the Grams video, there was a comment that stuck out like a sore thumb. It reads, "In no way, shape, or form did anyone think Dot was done after Family Matters." Bro, do you not remember the glaze? It was a proverbial Krispy Kreme, and DJ Academics was the regional manager.
Observe. If you're this good, if you're this guy who's even better than the guy who I really like, you show up once every fucking 5 years?
Hell, get off that nigga dick, bro. What is you doing?
Like, bro, you don't deserve the title of being king.
Bro, for real. Hey, no, niggas, bro, get off their dicks.
What I do like about Drake, he did the shit that if you're king, you got to do.
God damn, get off that nigga dick, bro.
And it wasn't just him.
All on Kendrick now. Kendrick has been calling for this. He's been asking for this for several years, and he got what he wanted. So now it's time to show and prove because Drake said it.
Kendrick will respond, but it won't be the battle. It won't be like back and forth.
Drake believes that Kendrick Lamar doesn't have a response to the push-ups drop and give me 50 diss that he dropped. And then Drake put, use me as a they have nothing to drop button.
I don't know. I don't think Kendrick's cooking up. It don't take him 3-4 weeks to I think that's over. It don't take 3 or 4 weeks.
I think still through all of this, we find out that all of this Candyman, Boogeyman shit that your generation kind of dubbed Kendrick. Y'all just kind of ran and thought that Kendrick was this bully that ran through the industry and nobody wanted to battle.
Reply correctly. Like I said, Drake dropped his takeover, so now you got to give us your ether. If you got the ether.
That's what he do anyway, though. He takes his time.
He should.
4 years.
No, we don't know. He better come back faster than that.
That's what he do anyway, though. He takes his time.
He should.
4 years.
Euphoria didn't really, it didn't really move me. I'm not saying that, because you know why I'm expecting lyrics from Kendrick Lamar. It isn't like I'm not saying he's an lyricist, so you're expecting certain things, and song was kind of long, took too long to came out for us.
A lot of people in the industry don't seem to like Kendrick Lamar.
That Kendrick Lamar diss, Kendrick, but that shit was going on the cob, man. You know what's crazy, man? The light skin is winning, man, 3-0, man.
Drake is definitely winning. From an MC standpoint.
What?
You know, it took a while for us to get the record from Kendrick, and when you wait a while, it gotta be like out of this world.
You can't tell me you listened to that joint and really peeped all them double entendres and all them pattern switches and all them metaphors and punchlines for you to come up and say, yo, that's corny.
And I was like, damn, what did he do to make them niggas that mad? I could totally picture DJ Academics in a thong serving his rich baby daddy on a dinner for two. My video is not about how we got here or any of the other aspects of this beef. We're deconstructing the music production techniques of fellow MPC producer DJ Mustard on the song Not Like Us. DJ Mustard always wanted to work with his fellow LA native Kendrick Lamar, but the timing wasn't there.
Like we had a chance literally Yeah.
Not even a few hours, not even 12 hours. Remember, we were in the airport.
Yeah.
And Not Like Us had just dropped the night before. And I asked you, I said, man, what was that like? And you told me at that time that you hadn't heard it until...
Yeah, I didn't hear it till everybody else heard it. I got to a point I was sending them 5 beats a day before the whole beef, whatever. But
right.
I was just, working on my album. I'm like, man, I really want to do a song with you. I really have to. I'm from here. So it's like, that's Kendrick. It's like, man, and this is years in the making. I've been trying to do songs with him for years.
Oh, really?
So it's just like.
How many beats in total you think you sent to Kendrick?
Maybe 100?
Jesus Christ.
Maybe 50 or 60, something like that.
See how God works? No.
I always tell people, only take one.
Yeah,
you
man.
Get that one, it's like, you good.
I have a question for all my fellow musicians and artists out there. Would you give up if you had to send 100+ tracks to an artist that you really wanted to work with that was from your own city? Leave the comment below. Also, I want to know why. He will also go into detail about the production process and the sample selection behind Not Like Us.
So in my mind, when I made that, I was just like, I remember getting a sample and my homeboy sent me the sample. His name is Sean Momberg. He sent me the sample and I started chopping it up and I sped it up and I was just like, I did the drums. I'm like, this is fire. I didn't know what anyone would do to it.
I think we all could agree that we could use a friend like that sends us a dope sample out of nowhere. Speaking of the sample, let's talk about that. The Not Like Us sample comes from the song I Believe to My Soul by Monk Higgins. The samples appear at 1 minute and 4 seconds in and at 29 seconds in. I have so much admiration and envy for this sample selection because it just was spot on. Jazz has so much emotion in it, it's crazy. So let's sample it inside of the MPC Live 2. By the way, I have masterclasses for all the modern day MPCs linked in the description. Press and hold shift, press mix, so it'll bring you into the sampler. Make sure that you have monitoring on so you can hear the sample go through, and set some type of a threshold so when you press record, it doesn't record immediately until you press play from wherever you're sampling the source from. That's all I need from that. I'm gonna listen back and then I'll keep it. I'll just name it Not Like Us and then press keep. So the next sample is at 1 minute and 4 seconds. So I will go ahead and arm it again to record it. And you will hear it as it comes right in. Hey. And as you can guess, it'll be Not Like Us, except it'll have a 1 byte. I keep it that way because that's what we're sampling. The next thing we're gonna do is press shift and mute, which will bring us in the sample editor. That way we can trim the sample itself. So we'll just go and start from the start point. So it's right here. All right, and we'll play it from the end. Yeah, that's it. From here, we'll go into process, and then we'll choose discard so that we have a new sample right here. Ooh-wee. Next, we'll go to the other sample that we recorded. It's right here. So we need that. We'll just stretch it out so we make sure that we're cutting it perfectly. And then we'll trim it some more and then stretch it back in. You can always use your cue links too. Like your cue links can be to adjust the start and end point. Depends on which cue link that you're on. Now I'm on the end point here. If I need to adjust, I can adjust the end point. And of course, if the cue links get in your way, you can always press and hold the cue link button and turn that off on all the MPCs. All this stuff works on all the MPCs. Everything I'm talking about. Process it, discard. The next thing we need to do is to assign these samples to an empty program. So the first thing we need to do is press main so we can go back into the main screen. And then from here, we'll just choose assign samples into program 1 since this is a new project, and all I have to do is just add them in. So I will start with this sample right here, and then I will add this one right here. So we have this, and then we have this. The next thing we need to do is go into menu, so press and hold menu and choose program edit. And from here, we're going to make a minor adjustment to the Not Like Us sample, which is tuning it up semitones until it sounds right. That's not it. Getting closer. Oh my goodness. Is this a... Bro, I had to. But seriously, it's a B minor and you have to tune it up 6 semitones. So let's do that for this sample right here. And if you have to, it seems a little loose, then, you know, tighten up the start point right over here on the program editing. I like that. Now let's talk about the drum line, because that's very important. What if I told you that his drums came from another legendary music producer on the West Coast by the name of Snipe Young? And I have that exact same MPC expansion too. It's called Pure Platinum, and it is located on the official Akai website at akaipro.com. I'll have it linked in the description box. So I'll load that in. Then I won't leave the screen. I will change some of the stuff. So I got a snap. Everything is right here. What I will do is go over here and I will replace this hi-hat with the same hi-hat from Not Like Us. The hi-hat sounds like this. I will load it in. The sample is this. So I'll go to sample assign and go to that exact hi-hat. And we're done. Before we lay out this beat, make sure that you have your BPM set to 98 BPM and have 4 bars ready to go. So we'll start with the hi-hats. Let's record the hi-hats in and notice the pattern. And then we can adjust the sample itself just by going into menu. As we get the ride, I'm in the vibe now. That feels right. I'm gonna let it ride out like that. So the next thing we need to do is use a key group. So we'll just go to another track and we're gonna add the bass line. So I'm gonna just call this track bass, and then we'll select a key group. And from here, we'll select another sample, which is a very important one, if you have noticed, the bass. So let's go back into the browser and we'll go and grab the 808 from Not Like Us. So I found the bass. We're going to use that one right there. Then we're going to take it into sample edit and we're going to check if it's a C. Then we'll press the main button and then go into pad perform and then make it a whole lot easier on us and go into notes mode and set this to a B minor by pressing holding menu and then selecting program edit. And if you're on any other MPC, you'll just press program edit. From here, we'll go into the global. We'll make sure that note on is on, and then that we have it on mono so there's no collision in the 808. So to tighten up the endpoint of the 808s, I will go and press this right here, which is the selection icon, and then we'll select these 2 parts right here. So now that we have this, we can play it back from this point too. Let's go ahead and select that right here, and then we'll choose edit in. Now that we fix that, boom. end. So the next part, let's go to another track, and we need to add a piano part. So that's pretty easy because we're already locked into a B minor. So what we need to do is just find a sound that's a piano. You can use Fabric XL or even HypeSynth for this example. Matter of fact, I'll use the free plugin HypeSynth that comes with every MPC. And turn it down. Let's go ahead and add this to the very beginning of the 4-bar loop and get that in there. 2, 3, 4. For extra credit, I'll even add the DJ scratch at the end of the 4th bar. So let's go ahead and select the 808 or the bass, whatever you called it. And then we'll go into insert plugins. We're going to use a plugin called Flex Beat that happens to function like Gross Beat inside of FL Studio. So Flex Beat is in Harmonix. If you have it, because you have to pay for it, it is a separate plugin, but I do recommend it, of course. Then we'll just go into the pencil sign after we have loaded it up, and we'll simply go into turntablist. Now that we have the vibe, and it is this scratch right here, scratch pattern number, it looks like 7, and we'll just go into main. What we need to do is press and hold the Q-Link button. Now from here, we'll go into Q-Link edit. From the project tab, we need to go to insert 1. And then select dry wet. So now when we go to this Q-Link, which is Q-Link number 4, we can set up the dry wet. So I'll turn the dry wet all the way off. I'm going to make sure it's on, and then I'll go back into the main screen, and then we'll play with it a little bit. 4th Q-Link on mine. You can hear it as it goes in. So what I'll do is I'll bring it on the last one. All right. So let's go ahead and do an automation. And if you messed up, don't worry about it. I've messed up a couple of times too. So this is how you would go about erasing automation. All you have to do is press the erase button and then select automation. And then you can delete the automation if you don't like it. The other thing that you can do if you messed around with the Q-links and you're kind of confused and you want to reset it up because you messed that part up, you can always, let's do that again so you can see it. You can always press and hold Q-Link and then go to Q-Link edit, make sure that you're in project, and then you can set it up to where it's supposed to be. So I already have mine set up to insert 1 and the dry wet. And if you have to, reset it right here. Don't worry, I haven't forgot about the other part. So what I'm going to do is something that everybody should know by now. If you don't, it's cool. So I'm going to do a copy sequence. So I will press the pencil sign and then I will choose copy sequence. I'll call this sequence 2 or like switch up or something. Just call it whatever you want. I'm going to just call it hook, I guess. It's not the hook, but hey, it is what it is. So once we go back into here, we see we have a new sequence. And what we need to do is adjust it to 2 bars because that interlude is only a few bars long. So I don't need any of the bass, so I'll just erase the bass. I erase all. And then I will erase, go to the track and then erase the drums. So let's erase the drums. Boom. And from here, I erase the pianos too. So boom. Next thing I do is go to the sample itself and record that in. So let's record that in. 3, 4. Then we'll go to the sequence and bring it back in. One thing that I learned from DJ Mustard's production is he is the king of minimalism. And he also is a MPC 2500 head too. Prices for the MPC 2500 are going up for sure. I'm just saying. Most importantly, that he had to send a gang of beats to Kendrick Lamar, which is a LA native, someone that's been around for a minute, just for him to get that placement, and it was divine timing at that. And if a multi-platinum producer has to send hundreds of beats to get him a placement after he got platinum plaques, then boy, I got a lot of work to do. To the right of me, I have more content like this for that ass. So make sure that you check out my Alchemist video, and if you have checked that out, I greatly appreciate it, and I appreciate you for checking out this video. Make sure that you subscribe because I have plans on dropping more stuff like this in the future.